everybody, and welcome to the Metal Magdalene with Jet right here on Metal Messiah Radio. Tonight we have a special guest with us. We have vocalist Alex Erian of the metal band Despised Icon. Welcome to the show, Alex.
Thanks for having me.
So Alex, give us a little history on the band.
A little history. We started out in 2002. I don't really know where to start. But yes, we are from Montreal, Canada. I believe we are one of the first deathcore bands out there, and it's been quite a while actually. And here we are getting ready to release our 6th record, Purgatory, on Nuclear Blast. So I'm quite excited.
So Alex, when you guys first started out in the band, you were the drummer, right?
Yes, I was on our first record, Consumed by Your Poison, and somewhere along the way I got tendinitis, so I had to step down. And at the same time, our vocalist at the time, Mary, she had just gotten married, and she didn't really want to tour or anything, and I was like, guys, I love this band, I want to keep on playing music, how about I just try out on vocals, and the rest is history.
So how was that for you? Actually, here you are in the back, way in the back there. Now you're way out front, and you don't have any kit around you.
Yes, I used to hide behind a drum set, hide behind those cymbals. It was great. Now I actually had to work a lot on myself and be a bit more outgoing, and I'm more of an introvert to be honest. And so to go from being a drummer to one of the two frontmans in the band, it was a learning process. But ultimately, I feel as though I've benefited from that as a person. I feel like I'm more outgoing now. I actually have to entertain these people. So, yeah.
And no more tendinitis.
True. Yeah, that's gone, long gone.
So just getting a little bit more with your history. So now you guys broke up, got back together. So why did you guys decide to give it this second shot?
Well, we originally broke up at the end of 2010. We had been touring full-time for roughly 6 years or so, traveling a lot, and it sort of took its toll. I guess that spark went missing somewhere along the way, and all of us were in our late 20s, early 30s, and we felt that need to, experiment life outside of the band, see what it was like. A lot of us had good job opportunities. A lot of us wanted to start a family, and so we needed that time off. And in retrospect, it was it was a great thing because about 4 or 5 years later, we really started missing it. We rekindled, started hanging out, and now it's more like a back to the roots approach. We actually hang out, talk, goof around. We jam now. we used to only go on tour. Now to actually take the time to rehearse, and it feels more like a band. And now every time we're on tour, which is rare, it's more of an experience, more an event than just a show,
And how would you say that the band has progressed since you guys have been back, so to speak?
Well, one of the things, we switched to in-ear monitors, and at first, our first couple of jams, we were like, wow, we suck. And it really forced us to, identify our individual flaws and work on that individually and collectively, and I feel like we are now tighter than ever, and I don't know, I feel like our live set benefited from that, and as far as musicians, I don't know. It's just like people. There's that need to evolve, a certain growth, and I think that's reflected on our music as well. And I feel like Purgatory is we achieved. It's quite varied, and I'm really proud of that record.
So that's what we're here today to talk about, your new album, Purgatory, coming out November 15th on Nuclear Blast Records. Alex, what kind of mental state were you guys in the band going into writing this album?
Well, musically it was great. The fact that we only tour maybe 1 month out of the year, that leaves us a lot of time to actually work on the music and not be bothered by a heavy touring schedule or restrictive deadlines. So I really feel like the songwriting writing benefited from that. Nothing to hinder our creativity. Our writing, we have two writing teams, so to speak. The first one being Eric, our guitar player, and myself. We write the more like catchier, groovy, mosh-oriented songs together. What's cool about writing with Eric is I could actually, he'll actually listen to my ideas. I come from like more of a rhythmic background, being a drummer and all, and he'll actually acknowledge my ideas, and like I'll hum a couple of riffs, and he actually gets it and makes them a whole lot better. And same thing for the second writing team, which is Eric, our guitar player once again, and Alex Grind, our drummer, and those two come up with the more technical, fast songs. So as I said earlier, Purgatory is pretty varied. Our previous record, Beast, we wrote very rapidly when we reunited as a band. It's a bit more stripped down, very raw, aggressive, more reminiscent of our earlier records, a bit more death metal oriented. And I feel with Purgatory, this time around we acknowledged every era of the band. So if you're actually more into Day of Mourning or Ill the Modern Man, for instance, you might like this record better. And overall, as I said, it's a lot more varied, so I'm pretty stoked.
And what is this album, about lyrically, as in, like, what are some of the subjects that you kind of touch on with this?
Well, for me personally, as a lyricist, I feel that for the longest time, I've always seen things either black or white, right or wrong, good or bad, and this is me trying to reach that middle ground, trying to achieve that balance between like the constant ups and downs, and so it's sort of a way to embrace that chaos, so to speak, accept that certain things will always be out of my control, and let that chaos flow through you, and ultimately achieve like sort of a sense of freedom, liberty, and with that, give you all the proper tools to deal with adversity. I really do feel as though I'm in a transition phase, and hence Purgatory, caught in the middle, so to speak.
And now the album starts out very melodically, so how did you want the intro to set the tone for the album?
We just wanted to be unpredictable. At first, when we wrote that melodic acoustic song, it was meant to be an interlude, and then we just loved it so much that we decided to open the record with that, which I think is the last thing people expect from us, and that's the beauty of Despised. I feel like we always, we were in the deathcore scene, at the very beginning, so we always try to stay one step ahead, and I guess that was our mindset opening with that track.
And now, speaking of deathcore, what do you think is the deathcore, I hate to say genre, but genre type of music? How do you think they fit into the music scene around the world today? I mean, how strong would you say that particular scene is nowadays?
I feel like there was kind of a stigma attached to it at first because it was very tied to the whole MySpace scene, and it was a trend, and normally people, I don't know, whoever says hypertrend is, thinks of it being fickle and whatnot, and I do feel as though there was like a low phase somewhere along the line, but like, we even broke up in 2010, but, a lot of bands like Whitechapel, Suicide Silence, Carnifex, Zyart, they kept it going. They're bigger than ever. They're representing the scene, and I feel like now deathcore is here to stay. It's not just a trend. It's actually a respected musical genre, and I'm actually quite proud of that, and really quite proud of my peers as well for making it what it is.
Now, okay, so what format is this album going to be released on, Alex?
Digital, obviously, CD, and vinyl.
And Alex, how would you describe your musical journey with Despised Icon over the years?
Well, when we started the band, this was death metal band number 2 or 3 for each and every single one of us, and so this time around we wanted to do something a little different, keep it fresh not only for us but for the listeners, and so we started adding like these hardcore or grindcore elements to our death metal music, and we've always been about experimenting, and I feel like even with this record, that's still the mindset that we're in. The thing is, a lot of the a lot of these deathcore bands are influenced by other deathcore bands, but for us, it goes beyond that. You know, we listen to a lot of '90s shit, and I feel like that's really reflected on our music.
And if people want to learn more about the band, what are the best sites to go to?
I mean, social media, or just go to despisedicon.com.
So there you guys go. Despised Icon have a new album out November 15th on Nuclear Blaster Records called Purgatory. You can learn more about the band at their websites as well as the Nuclear Blast site. And Alex, thank you for taking the time to come on the show tonight, and all the best to you guys.
Much appreciated. Have a good one.